What's going on, everybody? It's your man Cleveland Terry. We are at the SHURE booth at Sweetwater's Gear Fest 2022. I'm really excited to talk to SHURE. You guys know I've done a lot of mic reviews, and SHURE is one of those that I've been a really big fan of. The SLXs, the ULXs, I've been a big fan of for mobile DJing. But because I don't only DJ, we also do streaming. You guys are all familiar. There's a lot of different options here. So we're gonna kind of discuss everything. I have Yuri, I pronounced it right?
Yes.
I have Yuri from SHURE here, and we're gonna just kind of discuss a little bit about what they're doing and some future products they have going on.
So this guy right here, this is my favorite thing to talk about too,
Okay.
which is why it's like right up front, right? So this is the MV88 Plus. This is a microphone that plugs into either your iPhone or Android phone. We have both connectors.
Okay.
And what you're seeing here is the video kit. So it's microphone, clip, a little stand for your mic, for your phone, and a Manfrotto tripod stand.
All comes together.
All comes together for $249.
Okay.
And this is a stereo microphone. I absolutely love this thing because I can just plug it in. You can just plug it in and use it as plug and play, or I don't know how well this is going to show on camera.
We'll B-roll it.
But
yeah,
we got this beautiful app here. We can change the gain here, the microphone gain right off the spot. We have a couple of presets if you just want to hit something and start recording right away. But this is a stereo microphone. It has a front-facing microphone and a side-to-side facing microphone.
Nice.
So you can combine them to create a stereo field, either narrow at 60 degrees or wide at about 135. Or you can just use the front-facing microphone and talk directly into it. Or you and I can do an interview with the figure 8 microphone, and you and I can talk like this to each other and get nice crystal clear sound. And this is raw mid-side for those that want to do the mid-side decoding themselves. They can. And then underneath that is a couple of other just advanced features: a limiter to avoid clipping, a compressor to make it sound a little bit more radio friendly, high pass filter, a swap of the left and the right in case you're in selfie mode or if you're shooting this direction.
Right.
You can choose what's left and what's right, and even a built-in EQ. And the best part about this is that all of this stuff gets stored in the mic, not in the app. So once you set it in the app,
you can plug it in any phone, anything, and you're good.
Exactly. So once it's set in the app, you can leave the app. You can record. You can use any video app. Yeah, and it's just bonkers, man. And you can record directly to the app if you want. But really, what I do is I set the settings. I leave the app. I use whatever my video recording app is at the time. We have our own. The big advantage of having our own video app is that, let's see here, it's frozen in time. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Is that you can access the mic settings directly from the app.
Oh, nice.
But if you don't need that, if you just want to set it and forget it, you can use any video recording app of your choice.
Now, is this a class-compliant microphone, meaning I can plug this into my MacBook and use it also?
Absolutely, you can. Yeah, we have, let me see if we have the cable. No, we took it away. Somebody's using it right now.
That's fine.
But actually, I just did a recording session in here. We recorded 2 musicians that were sitting on our couches here.
Okay.
And I plugged it directly into my MacBook Pro and recorded directly to Pro Tools.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And you said it was $279?
So for the mic itself is $199. If you want to buy the entire video kit, it's $249. And then we also have something called the stereo kit, which is what I was using. It comes with a microphone clip that goes directly onto a mic stand and a 10-foot long cable, so you can run it to your computer.
So this one is...
So this is just the Sm7b. This is our tried and true Sm7b. So
Gotcha.
This is the one I'm going to talk into.
Okay.
And the idea is this whole section is all of our live vocal mics. So we have, they're all wireless for the moment. They don't have to be wireless.
Sure.
But we have all of our different capsules so we can show off, whatever capsule people want.
Gotcha.
So the new thing that we have is the KSM11, which I want to make sure I grab the right one because it looks very similar. So this is our newest mic right here.
Okay.
And you can probably very clearly hear the difference between the 11 and the 58, right?
Yes,
so
definitely.
Condenser microphone. We just came out with this maybe about a month, 2 months ago at this point. The 2 biggest selling points, and you can hold on to it if you want.
Thank you.
You can show it to the camera or do whatever. The 2 biggest selling points of this microphone is the previous condenser model that we had was the KSM9, which I'm about to show right here.
Yep.
Looks very, very similar. That's why I had to do a double take to make sure I'm picking the right mic, right? The main difference is the idea behind the KSM. You can compare the 2 if you want.
2. Oh, okay, yeah. It's 2. Check. Check one. Yeah, you can definitely hear the difference.
Yeah, so the KSM9 is going to be a little bit more forward, a little bit more aggressive, right?
Yes.
But so the KSM11, the design behind that is to make it not flat, but have a little bit of that boost in the high end that you get for the KSM9, but also a little bit of this low end that you get from the Sm7b.
Well, it's interesting because I have a kind of a raspier voice, so that low end I always have to cut away.
Gotcha.
But this one actually sounds really good without much EQing.
And that's the whole point. That is, you just literally made our sales point for us. The whole point of the KSM11 is to give less work to your audio engineer.
There you go.
Yeah, the idea is to have it a nice, clean sound that you don't have to EQ or minimize the amount of EQ using the end. And the other big thing, while you're holding it, let me see, are you holding the 11 here? Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to do this. Your listeners won't hear this, but you'll hear it in your headphones, right?
Okay, right.
You hear all this nonsense?
Yes.
This is handling noise. This happens on a lot of microphones. Now do that with the 11.
Oh my God. It's virtually...
Yeah, you're not even hearing the handling noise. You're hearing the sound of your hand hitting it going into the actual mic is what you're hearing.
So yeah, so you can... Oh,
yeah,
wow,
so we created a brand new shock mount for this microphone to completely, I can't officially say completely kill handling noise, but it's as minimum as it can possibly be.
Right.
So...
And what does this one run?
So it runs $899.
Okay.
The KSM11 is wireless only, so it's just a capsule. If you want to make it wired, we have something called the VPH, which I don't see on this table. Somebody must have run off with it.
Okay.
But it converts any of our wireless transmitters into a wired transmitter.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So okay. Wow, this is impressive. Now, I think which ones do we have? Because my partner just bought the ULX and he bought...
Oh, ULX is amazing.
It really is, and I think he bought the SM86.
Oh,
no,
really?
The Beta 87.
Beta 87. So that's to my ears. This is not a Shure sales thing, but to my ears, the 87 is our most aggressive mic. It's the most like high frequency forward mic that we have, and some people just absolutely love it because you will cut through any mix with an 87.
Right, exactly, and that's why he likes it as far as DJing. But this one, I'm actually really... I'm impressed with the handling. And as far as the difference between price and this one and like the 87, that's like isn't that like around $700?
Yes, it's going to be at least $100 or $200 less. Okay. I don't know the exact prices of our wireless capsules, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
So unfortunately, I can't speak to the prices. But
oh no, it sounds good though.
The KSM11 is the most premium, and it'll be the most expensive mic in our lineup.
Gotcha. I did a couple of videos on what I feel are like the best all-around bang for your buck microphones, and I was talking specifically about the Shures because I am a big fan of the SLX, the ULX, even the PG4s, which you need to bring back the PG4s.
Yeah.
they were like tried and true. They worked no matter what. They could, bring back the PG4s. But the one that I didn't love ever was the BLX. I know it's entry level. I've always had problems with the BLX. So if you could just kind of break down, quickly the difference between the models here. You know, the BLX, SLX, ULX, why there's a difference?
I will do my best in a short amount of time.
Thank you.
Because this is one of those things, I do like 3-hour trainings on this.
Oh, of course.
So you guys got 3 hours, right?
This is the Cliff Notes version.
All right, cool. So we actually have BLX right there.
Okay.
The main difference between BLX and all of our other systems except for PGX is that BLX is analog.
Yes.
So it is, for some folks love analog wireless, and that is our analog wireless option. It is.
They're a little more forgiving.
They're forgiving, but it's also it's inexpensive. So people that are doing entry level, they just need some wireless system that works. BLX is usually the kind of entry point, and it's also kind of designed. I don't want to use the word dummy proof, but I just did. It's kind of designed to kind of plug and play. You set the group, you set the channel, and you step away from it, right? And it just does its thing.
Yeah.
So that's the idea behind BLX. It's a very, very simple setup, and it's beautiful. So when we start getting into the quote-unquote professional digital stuff, we start with SLX here. SLX is beautiful. This is actually our newest system that we've released. Is the SLX system. So this is our entry-level professional digital. Depending on where you are, it can give you up to about 20 channels.
Okay.
You know, like we love throwing out numbers, but with wireless, those numbers completely depend on your location and how much other wireless stuff is happening.
I operate out of LA.
Yeah, so LA is tough.
Yeah.
But SLX can handle LA as long as you're not. But you're limited to the amount of channels that you can use.
Yeah, and the spectrum is a little more, it's a little smaller.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about SLXD is that it's digital. You get really, really good. You get the reliability of digital wireless for a relatively inexpensive package, and it is the first of our wireless systems, the least expensive of our wireless systems that are networkable. So you can actually control it via wireless workbench. You can plug an Ethernet cable into the back of it.
Okay.
Right now, what we have, BLX, you can set BLX, but you still have to do it manually.
Of course.
All right, so we'll move away from SLX, but you can detach the antennas, and you can either get quarter wavelength or half wavelength antennas that you see here.
Gotcha.
All right, moving up from SLX, we've got QLX, and the main advantage of QLX is you get more channels.
Okay.
Generally speaking, as you move up our wireless range,
More
you get
channels.
more channels, a little bit more control, and a little bit more network ability. So like the menu in the QLX is going to be a little bit more complicated than the menu in the SLX,
Gotcha.
and that's by design. You know, the simpler stuff is meant to be simpler. It's meant for people to kind of set
course.
it up, go
Yeah.
through a couple of maybe a few features, and then just call it a day, and it just works, right?
So, so then basically the whole distance thing doesn't really apply once you're in this level. It's just more about
Not
having an established
really.
signal all the way through.
Right. Most of our
Okay.
wireless systems, if not all of them, if they're digital, they can generally go about 200 feet.
Okay.
300 feet if you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But we never advertise that
Of
because
course.
in busy areas it shrinks down from 200 to about
Yeah,
100.
and then you put bodies in the place,
Yeah.
and then that sucks
Yeah, it
up.
also depends on where your antennas are and where your
Yes.
transmitters are, and there's all sorts of things that you can do.
Okay, gotcha.
So QLX is really, really nice. It is, again, completely networkable. You can get it in a half rack or 2 rack, just like with the
Yep.
SLX here. But primarily what you get with QLX is more channels, more frequencies, a
Gotcha.
little bit more firepower.
Okay.
So now we're getting into like the super pro stuff here.
Okay,
All right.
that's fine.
So now that we move up to ULX, we got 2 huge new features with ULX.
Okay.
The first one is something called high density mode.
Right.
So with SLXD, maybe 20 channels max, right? Maybe. QLXD, maybe 30,
Right.
30 or 40. ULXD, you're moving up to about 50 or 60
Oh,
channels.
wow. Okay.
But you can also press a button and it goes into something called high density mode.
Right.
I should be talking to the camera and not to you, right?
Okay.
You got something that goes into high density mode, and it takes those 60 channels and it squeezes the filter a little bit. I don't want to go into too much technical detail.
Sure.
It brings it up to about 90 channels.
Okay.
Or 90 transmitters running at
And that's on
once.
the new ULXs.
It's on ULXD, yes.
On D,
The digital
okay.
system. It is a digital thing, yep. And the other thing you get with ULXD, the other big thing is that you get encryption. So I don't know how that works in the DJ world or in the music world, but if you're a corporation or if you're a government, you have to have
thought
stuff
about that.
encrypted. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So no one else can steal your wireless signals.
Okay.
And it's the top level. It's the AES 256 top level encryption.
Gotcha. So in the SLXD, I thought, how long has SLX been out?
Only a couple of years. It came out about 2 years ago.
Okay.
It came out right before COVID hit.
So have you guys made any updates to your D line? Because it seemed like when they first came out, they struggled a little bit, but they seem to be getting better. Have you done?
The main update we've done with SLXD is we added networkability. When it first came out, it wasn't networked.
Okay.
And then
Right.
we came out with a new version that was networked. We haven't. I don't think we've updated anything to the
Like the
wireless
firmware or anything,
protocol.
yeah.
I mean, we update the firmware constantly.
Yeah.
But I want to, for your viewers, I want to be clear about one thing. This is a misconception that we get about our wireless stuff.
Okay.
There's actually no difference in the sound quality between SLXD and Axions. I just want.
It's all channels.
It's feature sets, channels, and control. That's what you're getting. It's essentially the same wireless protocol. There are some differences with how it's packed and how it's sent, but
Right.
that doesn't affect the audio quality of it.
Gotcha.
It affects the channel count.
So in other words, if you don't require all the stuff, the SLX is going to be just fine for you.
It's going to sound great. If you're looking for great sound and a minimum amount of channels, you don't have to buy the expensive stuff. You can buy SLXD and it'll work great.
DJ that wants to get into in-ear monitors, what would you recommend?
So how much of a bass response do they need?
I'm going to say pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
I would go to the top. Then,
Okay.
and I would go with the 846s. And the reason why, I don't think these are open technically, but the reason why, so let me backtrack a little bit. So you said you have the 535s.
I do.
And the 535s are great because the 535s are probably our most balanced.
Right.
They have 3 drivers, with a low driver, a mid driver, and a high driver, right? And so you get this nice balance and nice separation between low, mid, and high.
Correct.
You get enough low end with the 535s.
Right.
You're not skimping on the low end if
Sure.
you get the 535s. But what the 846s give you is a 4th driver.
Okay.
That's what the number 4 is in the middle here. So there's that little metal box that's in the back of the 846s. That's an acoustic channel that takes one of those drivers and turns it into a subwoofer.
Really?
Yep. So you get all of the extension and all of the clarity of the 535, plus an extreme, not extreme, but like a really, really solid low bass that you would get out of a subwoofer in your IEMs.
That's crazy. I do like this. This is new. Newer.
Our true wireless adapters.
Because it used to be the one that
used to be a cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are our new True Wireless 2 adapters, and I use them all the time. They come in this handy charger case.
Oh.
So I use in-ear monitors for everyday listening, and I get a lot of bass out of these things, and they're wonderful.
Oh man.
So if you really need that low-end bass extension, I would go for the 846s. If you just need good clear bass, so it has enough definition for you to do what you need to do, then I would go 535s or even 425s.
And obviously these are blue, but what colors do they come in?
They come in clear. They come in blue. We used to have a limited edition red. I don't know if they exist anymore.
Okay.
And then there's like a charcoal black kind of color as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And price on these? Because I know the 535s are like what, around 500?
$599. These are $899.
Okay. So perfect. That's a pretty standard price.
Yeah.
For quality in-ears.
Yeah, and if you've got somebody that just needs quality in-ears and just don't want to pay an arm and a leg for other stuff, these guys right here.
215s.
These are the industry standard, baby.
Okay.
One driver. It sounds great. $99.
$99.
$99.
Perfect.
So we got the full range.
All right. Cool. I like them. I'm a big Shure in-ear monitor fan. In all honesty, let me get my head in here. I've been using the 535s for years, and I've seen others, and people have talked to me about them. But when most people ask me about them, I'm like, this is the best, like, off-the-shelf in-ear monitor that you can buy. Yeah, you can get custom and all that stuff and go a different route, but like off-the-shelf, I can't complain about them. All right, enough advertising for sure. Let's talk about podcasting and streaming. So a lot of my, I'm gonna put it right here.
So this is going to be such a sad set because we're missing two of our mics right now.
That's okay.
Two of our mics are being used for a podcast.
Now, I want to mention though, he says two of his microphones are being used. That should be a testament to how good they are. They're not even here. But so all of my DJs, once we hit the pandemic, everybody started streaming, and they've all looked for different mics. You know, the SM7, that's like the classic.
It's our baby, our
standard. It's a standard. It's a little overkill for streaming, but what do I know? Okay, so let's talk about what we have here.
Yeah. So
what we have left, I should say.
So Cleveland makes a really good point. So the Sm7b is a wonderful mic. Not everyone wants to pay $399 for a beautiful sounding, top of the line Shure dynamic microphone. So we did come out with two other models that are a little bit more. I don't want to say the word user friendly, but definitely a little bit friendlier to your wallets. And they took some of the best stuff of the Sm7bs and just made it more for the modern age.
Okay.
So we came out with something called the MV7, which you're actually not seeing here because it is being used for a podcast by another creator at the moment.
The MV7 is the one with the USB also?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So the the MV7 is visible on the. There we go.
Yeah.
So the MV7 looks just like this, except it has both an XLR output and a USB output.
Okay.
And those are independent. You can run both signals at the same time.
Okay.
Which is a really, really cool thing.
Yes.
So I use it for Teams meetings or Zoom meetings and stuff, and I'll run USB and I'll have all cool processing on it.
Right.
But then if I have to record something, I'll run the analog audio out without any processing and have a recorded stream as well.
Okay.
So that's a really, really good thing for streamers that want to do something live, but they also want to have the raw recording without any processing whatsoever.
Perfect.
And the MV7 runs for $249.
Good price.
And I prefer to use it with our app. It's free, but the app gives you control over the gain. It also gives you control over. It adds an EQ. It adds a high pass filter. It adds a little bit of compression if you'd like. It has a limiter that you can turn on or off to avoid clipping, and it also has something for those that don't want any of that control. You can also just set it to auto. And you can put it on near mode, so you can talk right up in front of it.
And then it'll adjust on the fly, or
the auto will adjust the gain on the fly.
Oh, wow.
Or you can put it in far mode, so you can leave it a little bit off screen.
And it boosts up the
exactly. And the fact that these are dynamic microphones means that they already do what they can to eliminate outside sound.
Gotcha.
And then what you're looking at here is the MV7X. When we came out with the MV7, we had a lot of creators and a lot of other content makers come to us and be like, "Look, dude, I already have an interface. I don't need to pay extra for this USB, this USB stuff." So we came out with one that's just XLR only for $179 for those that already have an interface.
I get that. I'm of the mind that if you can do both, you might as well just buy both. Because I find myself using my one microphone when I'm at my desk. I'm like, oh, it would have been nice, but I don't have an interface there, and I'm not going to pull something over.
Right.
So that's fantastic. And this one's 179, you said?
179.
Okay, gotcha. So these are the main two for streaming. And then obviously if you want to go overkill, you can go the SM7b.
If you want to sound as good as possible
Yes.
for all scenarios.
And you do sound
SM7b.
good. I'm not going to lie. It is a very, very good microphone. I'm a big fan of it. You know, at the time, during pandemic, first off, they were super hard to come by. Like you couldn't get anything. And so I ended up just rocking a pod mic.
Got it.
But I need to compare. I have not done a side-by-side comparison.
Right, and we as a manufacturer, we do not do side-by-side comparisons, but we love it when other people do.
So that would be perfect.
One last thing.
Yes, please.
Have we given you a gift yet?
I have not received a gift yet.
Well, hold tight, audience.
I have not received it
We're going to
yet.
get you a little present. Oh, and it's ready for
Oh,
us.
wow, look at that.
There you go, Cleveland, just for you. You got to open it up, though, and show it to your audience.
All right.
It's
SM58.
It's a special SM58.
Okay, let's take a look.
And take a look at the handle.
Oh! Can you see that? It's got my name on it. So it's always mine. You know how many SM58s I've lost? Never again.
Can't lose this one.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
So I always keep a microphone just in my bag. So in the event that like my microphone dies or batteries, whatever, I can drop this on real quick. So this will always be in my bag. I'm a big fan of the SM58. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is great.
Enjoy it.
This is great. Cool.
Thanks for being here.
No, it's my pleasure. By the way, this is, again, Sweetwater Gear Fest 2022. We are at the Sweetwater Studios, is what they call it, at least when you GPS it, all the way in Fort Wayne, Indiana. If you guys want to buy any SHURE products, I would suggest going to sweetwater.com and picking up all of the things we discussed, all of them. Don't skimp. All of them. They have good payment plans. You can pick yourself up one of those 90-channel super expensive ones. So what's a payment plan, right? And guys, enjoy your day. Thank you, Yuri from SHURE, for taking care of me today for my microphone. We'll see you soon. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll talk about it later. All right. Peace.